2022, and I'm exactly 4 weeks out from left hip kind of reconstruction, including a femoral acetabular impingement, labral tear, and mild capsular laxity. And basically what all that means, if you haven't heard anything else, was that my femur didn't fit quite right in the hip. And that could either be a cause of or a long-term symptom of the fact that I had a cartilage tear, and that cartilage tear could have either been from me accidentally doing a split 6 years ago and letting it heal on its own, even though it was excruciating for months, or it could have been from me starting to jog after get out and start moving. So what caused it, we don't know exactly, but either way, cartilage was torn, and the femur, the neck of the femur actually was misshapen, was kind of straight, so it caused some issues in that entire capsule. So yeah, 4 weeks out, I would say my pain is at about a 3, which if you've seen any of my other videos, it was down to 0 for about 2 weeks, but that is probably because I went to the mountains last week and I'm on 1 crutch, but was told that if I'm going to be doing long distances, I need to be on 2 crutch, but I forgot my crutch, or I forgot my second crutch when I went to the mountains, so I was on 1 crutch the entire time. But that didn't stop me from walking 2 to 3 miles in the mountains a day, so I was not a 100% compliant patient, and instead I had a walking stick. So I had a walking stick in this hand and a crutch in this one, and I just thought, I'm walking anyways. I'll just put 0 weight on that foot and be okay with it. And the reason that they didn't want me going up steep hills was the hip flexion. They didn't want it flexing too much and putting too much weight on it. So along with going to the mountains, which I live at the beach, is that it was a 6-hour drive. So every hour had to stop, get out, walk around, which is fine for me. So did that, and it was actually a pretty okay drive, and it was actually a nice way to break up the drive. So did that, but I think still sitting in the car, sitting like a Tetris block for a total of 6 hours led to maybe some pain that I'm feeling today, because that was just, that was twice in a week. So about 12 to 15 hours sitting like that, which probably isn't good. I need to be more straight, stretching things out. So did lots of walking in the mountains, which was a lot of fun. Did a lot of sitting, and also did, because it was the holidays between Christmas and New Year's, a lot of inflammatory foods and drinks. So between sugar, salt, processed foods, alcohol, the inflammation is just rampant, I'm sure, and it just kind of feels, you know, everybody feels kind of blah after the holidays. So I'm kind of getting over that slump now and just going to try to hopefully flood my system with good nutrients to get that inflammation down again, and I'll just kind of lay off the bad stuff for a while to see if maybe that reduces some of the pain that I'm feeling right now, because this is probably the most pain that I felt since week 1, because I maybe pushed it a little bit much. Another thing up in the mountains that I was doing was getting in and out of a bathtub, because the shower that I have at home, I can just step in and out. There's no bathtub to step over. And in the mountains, I had to step over a bathtub, which was a little dicey, especially on 1 crutch. So I kind of held onto the wall and really had to lift my foot up to step over. And that probably wasn't great for him. And they also had a hot tub, which I know the surgeon said not to submerge myself, but the wound specialist at the physical therapist's office the week before said it was going to be closed up in 2 days. So I actually submerged myself at about 3 weeks as opposed to 4 weeks, and which the surgeon wanted me to wait until a month out. So ideally he would have wanted me to wait till today, but I put on liquid bandage on everything and kind of went for it. And after, you know, now we're looking at a week since I've gotten the hot tub for the first time, and there's nothing wrong with the wounds. They seem okay. So but the real challenge was getting in and out of the hot tub, which, like the bathtub, was probably not the best not the best overall. And what else did I work on? Oh yeah, sleeping. Sleeping was a little rough because my legs were just escaping from my foam roller, which I should have that nearby, but I have this foam roller, and there's straps in it and my legs stay strapped in, but my legs have been so crazy the past week and have a mind of their own that at night they're busting out and kind of all over the place. And so if my legs, I should not have my hips in weird positions pretty much at night. They should be straight down, hip width distance apart. And they were not. So there's so many factors between inflammation, sitting for 15 hours all together in a car, walking up steep hills. There was even a period last Tuesday or Wednesday where there was pinching going on, and it felt like it was through the back, through the glute area. Some serious pinching, so much so that I was really worried, but then it went away after a couple hours. And now the pain I'm feeling is through the hip flexor on the front. So I'm not sure what all, yeah, it's probably just the cornucopia of things that are leading to that. All in all, I think week 4 is going pretty well. Kind of in a post-holiday slump, but moving forward still and still doing my physical therapy. I missed 3 or 4 days of doing at-home physical therapy. So overall, I say week 4, I've been the least compliant out of weeks 1, 2, and 3. So I'm back on it, going to have a much better week 5, not going to be doing all this crazy stuff, and as long as I didn't undo the surgery, should still be on track. So we'll talk to the physical therapist this week, and I'll be going twice, and we'll see.